Over now, hooray, we're over here. Welcome, travelers! If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your reverse-seared brain DM, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Dungeons&Dragons 5th edition system and rules, and the setting is a homebrew based on the rock album Razia's Shadow by Forgive Durden. Before we get too lost in our adventure, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. We are well over 200 subscribers, which is very, very cool. A few more, and I'm sure we've got another giveaway on our hands. We're at 211. So what are we going up to? 225?
It was 250.
We're going 250? Excellent. 250. That will get there in no time. It'll be fine. 250 subscribers, and we'll do more giveaways because those are super fun. Also, make sure you like the video. That takes no time at all. Quick little poke the button. Done. I already did it. There should be many already happening. But go ahead, like the video as well. And also, leave a little comment below, which helps our algorithms, as we've already had like 2 people come find our channel through algorithms. So help our algorithms by responding to the following question in the comments. What has been your best comeback moment? What has been your best comeback moment? Thought you were down for the count, you turned it all around. That's what it's all about. Without further ado, listen, I already warned you where my brain's at. If you didn't anticipate this, that's on you. Without further ado, please enjoy.
Who needs brain cells tonight?
Not even once. This session of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude. Let's recap. Session 42. Awake, you sleeper. Whoop, there it is. Snow, Beau, and Viola tried different ways of waking up the sleeping beauty Ste'yn, but to no avail. Meanwhile, in this deep slumber, Ste'yn's dreams became a meditative opening for her goddess Atala to finally reach out properly. Ste'yn had many questions, and as Atala began to answer what she could, Snow was able to listen in with his medallion of detect thoughts. There was something Atala was hopeful that Ste'yn would remember. Something important, but terrifying. Something involving a terrible attack. I used the word meanwhile twice. That's okay, that's what editing is for. Meanwhile, with time of the essence, Beau managed to rent out a wheelbarrow to carry Ste'yn along so they could keep to their schedule. The Vivere left from the Firbolg colony and towards the great tree where the trouble in the swamp seemed to emanate. They chose to go north to a bridge over the river, because the wheelbarrow would have much more difficulty on the more direct path. They were met with 2 angered ogres, dead set on impeding them. As if strengthened by the sounds of her friends in trouble, Ste'yn pushed through the dream haze. Or was she pulled and awoke to help put an end to the threat? They traveled the rest of the way until the Mirror Lake and the great tree were finally in sight. So, on the way to your destination, what appears to be your destination, I think Beau had a thought that was occurring to him. I know at the end of our last
messaged Bren
because
I had a thought because we wrapped up last session with us walking, and I realized that would have been something that he would have said when we were walking and not just walked silently to where we were going.
Not his normal brooding silence. Whoops.
Wow.
But we were wrapping it up last week, so
yeah, happy to track back for a moment.
All right, now remembering what he was gonna say.
I can go back to the DMs.
No, I do remember. Like, I don't remember how he was gonna segue it. But okay, we're walking.
So the four of you are walking through this swamp.
Well, actually, Ste'yn was sitting. She was getting pushed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's in the ancestral wheelbarrow. Ancestral.
Oh, that's right. Ste'yn is being wheeled while the others are walking. The ground.
Listen, she's really tired still.
Get out. Go back to sleep. You had noticed as you were approaching your destination, the ground was getting a little more sturdy, more forest-like than even swamp-like. Still very humid, moist, swampy area as thoughts occur for all of you.
So, I may have jumped the gun a little bit, saying we have to go up to Ustrom immediately. We have some time. I also realized tomorrow is the last day of the festival, which I think that woman said Rosita was doing something that day, right?
Right.
And we haven't heard from Nora, so we should probably have What's-His-Face teleport us there tomorrow.
Back to Grati Minnow then.
Yes.
So why do we not need to go to Ustrom?
I didn't say we don't need to go there. I'm saying I think we have time.
What changed?
I said I got a little bit excited, so was hopping the gun a little bit.
I think he's asking what do you mean by jumping the gun a little bit? What's causing you to realize or think that you're jumping the gun?
Not as urgent as you originally thought.
Well, it's still a grave matter. It's just probably not gonna happen tomorrow.
Which the end of the festival will.
Yes.
Is what you're realizing.
If there was no festival thing, I would say we go straight there.
Should we check in with Nora and see how things are going?
Well, she could have checked in with us by now.
I don't know how these things work and who can do what when.
Well, she personally couldn't, but her little boy toy that follows her everywhere could have.
Yeah, him.
I can also reach out to her tonight after we take care of whatever it is we need to here. And I can try to get a lay of the land.
That sounds fine.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
I can also try to check in at Eustrom and see if there's anything happening there that would be signs of something graver starting than we might be aware of.
I would say not to start all the residents there.
Right.
What?
Nothing. Understood.
Insight check.
That was a loaded.
I want dice to roll. I don't care if that was a joke. Make it happen. Roll your deception, Beau. Ste'yn and Beau, you can
Oh,
roll your
shit.
insight.
I got 16.
I just want dice rolling. 16.
I got a 17
Oh.
total.
Psionic.
Would have been a 21, but I gotta subtract 4 from it.
Psionic. I am now at a. Wait, what did I say before? I am now at an 18 with psionic power.
Daggum. I don't generally like most PvP situations. This is good. I like this.
I mean, I wouldn't really call this PvP.
Anything about never mind. Okay. What is he noting as you quickly jump to nothing?
That she's probably not telling the whole truth there.
Did you do something?
Wow.
Fine, do something.
Did you phone a friend or something?
No.
Did you contact anyone there?
I reached out to my brother to tell him to get my niece and nephew safe.
Oh, how's he doing?
We're not talking about it.
You're not talking about it, or he's not talking about it?
We're not talking about it.
I think all of the above.
Nobody is talking about it.
So not well.
Exactly.
fine.
Can you at least tell me how you phrased it?
If Catherine takes a second to scroll through the notes, we can find that.
I think there was something like something is coming or something like that because he said even with you far away, you're start
I feel
causing
like she was
trouble.
vague.
Something. She said I said something's coming. Told him to take his wife, his children, and head to Zalia somewhere if they want to stay alive.
And how much does he like talk to people around?
I have not seen him in 10 years.
Well, if he's anything like Ste'yn, probably not much.
Do you think that their family all operate like this one?
Genetics involved. I mean, I don't know. It depends. Depends on how similar she is to her parents. Depends on how much of her parents
There's
that
not
she got
many
and her siblings.
similarities.
Well, then maybe the whole town knows. Maybe they're more like me. Who knows?
I
Alright,
honestly couldn't tell you. But I
okay.
didn't want children caught up in a mess.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that was a good call.
But I don't even know if he believed me, so.
Snow is gonna reach down to Ste'yn and just like squeeze her shoulder. as
Well,
she's
on the upside,
clearly
when we
not
get
gonna-
there, we can have a free place of residence.
Don't count on that.
I was
Well,
gonna
if they
say,
aren't there, we could just break in.
does Ste'yn even know where they live? Hard to break in.
So
if you
going
don't
back
know where
to
you're
going
breaking
back to
into.
Gratia Minot. That's what we're trying to do next. Yes, I'll reach out to Nora tonight. I'll keep that open.
Sounds
and
like
we'll
a
see where we
plan.
are.
Alright, and then when we get to this great tree that we're not supposed to harm, what's the
Don't harm
plan?
it. Don't harm it. We're trying. There's supposedly some evil, some darkness, some something going on here that we're supposed to be figuring out how to get rid of. I believe was what we agreed to do. Around the Mirror Lake more specifically, I believe. Just to watch out for the tree.
And just to check in, is everybody ready for another fight to happen in case one should happen that's equally as big as the one before?
I don't think we have much choice.
I'm fine.
Then we move onward.
I mean, we could take an hour.
Do you need one?
Can always use one.
Ste'yn gets an hour no matter what, because she's just sitting here.
Does she technically get a short rest just sitting in the wheelbarrow?
If she's doing nothing else, then allowing herself to be pushed like a queen, I will allow a short rest for Ste'yn.
She didn't take any damage though, does
No,
she?
it doesn't really do anything.
Back
I don't
Well,
think
how
so.
about this? We get close enough that we can see what we might be dealing with, and then assess if we need a little break.
With that,
So, onwards to the vantage point.
Fantastic.
Aha.
Which I think you were describing the scene at the end, so that would bring us
Mhm.
up to where we
Mhm.
last.
Mm-hmm.
but if you
Um,
wanted to describe it again, I would love that.
Sure. You reach this area in the swamp where the ground is definitely still dampened, but it does feel a little more full, a little more lush, you might say, vibrant. But I believe Ste'yn noted that it wasn't so much that it was a healthy, vibrant, lively environment, but rather there was a sickly, almost neon twinge among most of the flora that gave her a very like sickening, very poisony kind of look to it. Something very unpleasant. In front of you, you do see you're nearing the edge of this enormous lake. The water incredibly reflective, reminding you very much of when you were in the Fey Realm and that river. Not the same kind of silver, but it does seem to reflect very brightly that you imagine if you were to go up close, you would just kind of see very mirror-like your own reflection. It is surrounded by these enormous trees, all of them towering far above you and casting great shadows from the canopies above. And even so, you can still see that there's definitely a brightness coming from the lake itself. And far across the opposite side, there is one tree that is taller, even more grandiose than the others, that stands out very clearly in your vision. And there it appears, there is the lake there, but then there is also surrounding it is more of the swampish, forestish, this strange mix of the two. You could go around it to reach the other side where that great ancient tree is. The area that you would take to go around has more normal-sized trees, but many of them, you imagine it could provide more cover, potentially, because you do also get the sense as there are some natural sounds that could be from fauna in the swamp, and then other sounds that may or may not be friendly, but you do get a sense you are not alone in this area of the swamp. So essentially, you kind of have two options, or however many options as a party of D&D players can come up with, but I essentially provide two options. No. But if your destination were that tree, there is the lake itself. Directly on the opposite side is this enormous ancient tree, and then there are paths you could take to go around the lake. It would definitely take longer, but it would be on sturdy ground anyway.
I vote for walking on the sturdy ground since I still am pushing Ste'yn.
Well, do we want to leave that here in case we were to fight or something. Remember, it's on rental.
That's
You
true.
rented this.
Yes.
Gotta make sure
I thought
he
you
gets
stole
his
it. I'm
2
impressed.
gold back.
No, I asked permission, and I paid for it.
I'm impressed.
He even talked him down from the original offer.
That I definitely believe.
I thought 13 gold.
Mm. We can walk the rest of the way, though. That should be fine.
I think you're
Viola
muted.
will help Ste'yn
Josh?
get out of the...
What'd you say, Josh? We
Wheelbarrow.
didn't hear that.
Oh, now he's frozen forever.
Uh-oh.
Not forever.
There he is.
Is he back? Can we hear him?
I think he's back and he's frozen again with his eyebrows raised.
He has distinguished. He has distinguished expressions.
Oh, he sent a message. Stop stopping.
Oh, we only stopped because we thought you had said something. He's like, no, keep going.
Well,
I said
carry
nothing.
on.
Well,
Right.
are we waiting? Like, do we want to rest up or just go on?
And to just go ahead and go if we want to go, that's fine.
I don't see much reason to wait unless somebody has something they need, which is very valid and we can do. But
Well,
Just
Snow,
say so.
you're the one that suggested it. Do you need it, or was it something you would just like?
No, we can go.
Alright. So I guess they're heading to the tree.
On the sturdy path. Not the
Not the
squishy one.
beautiful mirrored lake. It's so beautiful. You sure?
last
Viola's
time we
tired
ended
of
up in a
shiny
strange
water.
bottle of water. Exactly.
What happened? What?
Last time we ended up in a strange body of water. It did not go as well for us, so we'll avoid that.
It stung.
I thought you said strange bottle of
Oh.
water.
I
for a
also heard
second.
that.
It was
Like,
pointy.
when did I put them in a
in a bottle. When did I put this
And
party
we got
in a
Alice
bottle?
in Wonderland.
Sounds like something that we could get ourselves into, though. Sounds
for
very
sure.
So
possible.
much.
I feel like that was definitely one of the intentions in the Fey realm. You were definitely supposed to be reduced down to little like mouse size. You were definitely gonna get stuffed in a bottle. But you missed that part because you decided to guess the correct route the first time.
We're just that good.
Okay. You guys start walking. You are you walking just normally? I know you are carting, staying about.
Well,
or are you
we're
attempting
walking all now because we're leaving the barrel.
Yeah, we left the
Oh,
cart
you left
there.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Then my next question is I have 2 questions then. One, are you walking normally or stealthing through the rest of this swamp?
Viola was planning on walking normally. Stealthing didn't come to mind until you asked that question.
Beau would have liked to stealth, but he also just hears those two trudging along.
There is no stealth when Viola's around.
But she can try her freeze again.
I believe don't both of you have disadvantage on those rolls?
Yes.
Disadvantage and -4 for staying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
She's having a day. Oh
She's
boy, it's
fine.
exhausted efforts all over again.
She's fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Just gotta spam
Um,
that guidance.
Excellent. And my next question is what is your marching order? How are you guys walking?
Beau's good for being up front because he does go an extra 5 feet above everyone. And Ste'yn's got
Probably.
reduced speed.
Yeah. So Ste'yn's probably towards the back of the group, keeping an
Viola-
eye out as well.
Viola was helping Ste'yn out of the wheelbarrow, so she'd probably stay next to Ste'yn.
Okay, so Beau up front.
I'm in the middle.
Sandwiched in the middle is Snow in a Beau and Ste'yn combo Viola sandwich bread. Fantastic.
We made a pyramid.
It's like marbled. It's that marbled rye bread. Just the 2 of them together.
It's just getting weird.
Welcome to what a reverse seared brain looks like.
What a snack.
Oh yes. Okay. You guys begin walking. You're going around the edge of the lake. The lake itself is never out of view. It is a very large body of water, for being in this swamp. And it looks actually, everyone give me a perception check, please.
Yep.
Okay, I thought that was just a 5. It's actually a 15. That's much better. Dirty 20.
30.
Perception, that's a 9.
27.
Even with -4.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot I had to roll dice, and then I saw what I rolled, and then I was like, I honestly lost track of what you said. I'm so sorry. Coming back over here. Perception. Beau.
9.
9. Snow.
7.
7.
The two
Ste'yn?
people in the front.
27.
27. Insane. And Viola.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, give me half a moment. As I meant to have dice. Okay, perfect. Okay. You guys continue walking. Beau, you're keeping an eye out for anything that seems particularly unusual. You already know you're in a spot that is, if it's not hostile, it's at least uncaring for random people traveling through. And you already know that there is clearly some kind of danger. You were warned that any one of the Furbolg's scouts who were trying to get close to this area did face some kind of difficulty. So you're keeping your eye out. But really, very often you find yourself just drawn to look towards the lake itself. Snow as well. You feel yourself drawn to looking towards the lake. There's something about the way that it reflects. There's something about the way that it sits like this, attempting to be very pure in this otherwise very sickly area. There's a lot of like phoniness to this area, but it draws your attention. So you find yourself catching the reflection and blinking away the after image. It shouldn't be so bright on a relatively cloudy day, but the sun is making its way.
But it's just memorized by his own looks reflected in the water.
Okay,
you aren't that close. You aren't that close to the water unless you'd like to get that close to the water. But there is space because there are these big trees that are kind of along the shoreline of the water. But if you'd like, you could. It's a good looking face. So you guys keep kind of looking in that direction. Viola, you are monitoring. You're kind of on alert in that one, Ste'yn is not necessarily at her top game, and you're keeping an eye for things behind you. Nothing's going to sneak up on you guys. You do get a little sense, again, that you are not alone in this place. Something, if not, maybe it's the whole place itself. It's hard to tell. Something feels like it is watching you. Just eyes. Can't tell if they're friendly or uncaring or hostile, but you are not alone in this place. Ste'yn, you know that you are essentially being monitored. Something knows you're here. You're not going to chalk this one up to the fatigue that you're experiencing. Something is here. I need Beau and I need Beau to make me a strength saving throw with disadvantage, please. And Viola, I need you to make me a strength saving throw, just normal, as you notice something seems very unusual about the ground directly behind you and directly in front of you. It, without warning, seems to become bigger and is moving the grass and fauna.
Beau got
Flora.
9.
A 9?
24.
24.
The one die was a
Um,
19, so he could have had an 18.
Curses.
You got 24 at disadvantage, or was it just Beau with a disadvantage?
Only Beau is at disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
Double curses. Beau, as you take one more peek towards the lake and the reflection catches in your eye and kind of blink it away, in that moment of blinking, you feel yourself caught up, something wrapping around your legs, stringing you together, binding you, and holding you in place, leaving you feeling rather vulnerable as you are restrained by this magically changed flora. Viola, you see behind you. You're able to turn your head in time to see the same thing happening behind you, trying to reach out to you, but you are able to kind of break free from the parts that start to grab you and step away from the rest of it, with Ste'yn and Snow kind of caught up between. So you guys now see Beau is restrained in this very thick looking, almost vine looking flora that seemed to come from the grass. And
Viola
you hear
will... Oh, sorry.
you hear a voice from somewhere unseen, coming from the direction from your side, from the direction of the trees where they are grouped together. You can hear this kind of hissing voice, and you just hear this kind of slightly bemoaning, oh, rats, a little sneakier than they seem.
Viola will go and try to help Beau break out of the vines.
Okay. You head over. As you start to head over, you hear another voice that says, "Stand still. Don't move. There's more where that came from. What are you doing here,
Hello?
travelers?"
Viola's not gonna stop moving. She's gonna keep moving.
We
Okay.
are here
Um,
to bring aid and to bring help to rid this place of the curse that seems to have come upon it. We're desiring to not bring harm, but to bring healing.
Hello, I'm Snow. Who are you?
As Viola continues to head towards Beau, you have a moment. You can give me a strength athletics check, as you're going to try and you try to break free or break him free. But I need all of you. Sure. Actually, never mind. You head over to start breaking him free, and you all notice as the ground surrounding you begins to harden, and every blade of grass seems to become so stiff and sharp. It looks like it is essentially small needles just jabbing directly up from the earth. Viola, as you are moving to help Beau, I need
And we
you
don't
to
see this
take-
person, right? Only
You
hear
do not currently see them. You can hear them. You can strongly indicate what direction they are speaking from. That is it plus anything? It is not. It's 5 piercing damage as you moved towards Beau. You can feel it stabbing into you. It does not have to stop you. You can still make the check.
Yeah, she rolled a dirty 20.
Should be enough. Yes. You tear with all of your strength, and it takes effort, but you can feel it kind of start to pull and then snap free. It looks like a blade of grass. It just pulls like a rope, and then begins to fall away to free Beau. But you are still standing amongst these like pincer needle-like blades of grass.
Is there a reason you're trying to restrain us immediately? Are you trying to protect the tree? Do you not like us here? What's the deal?
This is our home. You're trespassing.
Who? Oh, bye. Oh.
Oh!
That's how you
We
know I'm
meet-
from the Midwest.
Oh.
Hold on one second. Do you want to get the
I was gonna say, I'm staying right now.
Yes, exactly. So yes, yes, Kassie, what was Ste'yn about to say?
Viola is my best friend. That's what she was going to say. I love her so much. We are BFFs.
It wouldn't be a session if we didn't have some technical difficulties once in a while.
Oh yeah. This is
My favorite, when we're no one and there's pieces of our faces everywhere.
That's not nightmare fuel or anything.
You know?
I don't. Do tell.
I just get to be Bardic Ste'yn again, you know?
Mm.
That's okay. This gives me half a second to pull the thing up. Also rediscovered like one of my favorite background songs that gets played on repeat for 4 hours.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Like an out-of-game clarifying question?
Kind of. Do we recognize this snake voice from the lady from before?
I'll have you ask again when
Gotcha.
when he comes back.
I'm
I'm
here.
probably gonna make you roll for it.
Well, we know you're here, but your video is not on, so we're all out of place.
Oh,
Unless we need to
sorry.
adjust. No worries. No worries in the least bit.
Don't worry.
Be happy.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now.
I got to use these fun.
Yes.
Oh, I put these in the wrong spot. I had a feeling
Hot
like
hands.
these would be good dice to use tonight. These this is the one I got for my birthday.
Beautiful.
That's
pretty.
I love
Yeah,
those dice.
I love them so much. I just remember Cassie's card being like, I don't know why everything turned out purple, but I love purple. I hope you like it too. And then I have these my stone.
Ooh,
Metal
those are
dice.
very cool.
Oh no, please.
I
please.
haven't bought a set of dice in a
Please.
while.
Ma'am, when is your birthday again?
July 3rd.
I'm gonna make sure that's in my phone for real though, because it may not be.
Day before the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how that works, in fact?
I was
mean-
almost a firecracker baby. I was born at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. My mom just could have held out 2 more hours.
And we would have been celebrating Kassie on 4th of July. May, June, July. I don't have it in here. Kassie, I'm adding your birthday right now.
Shanks.
Kassie. Oh, wait. Why is it already an autofill?
Maybe because it's in the Discord?
I don't know.
I don't know either. There's times though where I like go to put something in my calendar, and it'll be like breakfast with this person who I've texted today, and I'm like, not once have we texted talking about getting breakfast, so I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, that's odd. It says Kassie parentheses Twitch B-Day. And I don't know what day that would be on, in that it's not on, you said July, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I put it on a previous year and I didn't remember to make it repeating. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe. That could be. How's the camera coming, Josh?
It's not gonna work.
Oh, okay. Are we able to readjust the screens for now?
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, if the camera's not going to turn on, we can't make it turn on, I guess. It's not ideal.
Why can't it
you know.
turn on?
Because this is not Discord isn't working on my computer at all.
Boo. It's like the reverse of what Grace was going through. Well, I guess it's the same.
Well, didn't she fix hers by turning it off Discord and then turning it back on?
Grace? She had to go through a whole lot of hoops to get hers.
Yeah, but it ended up being like
You said
a
it
simple
inevitably
thing
being like
at the end.
resetting. Like go to
It was-
setting
it-
resets or something.
Yeah, it was basically a button that she ended up having to click in the end. But most of the time, if you restart Discord as a whole, it usually fixes things.
Done that. Restarted my computer, restarted Discord, tried all the normal stuff.
Mm. Want to adjust it for now?
I think we're.
and-
It looks like we're switched to where we need to be on the screen now.
Yeah,
Are
I
we?
switched it.
Okay. And if we want to fuss with it on a break, we can also fuss with it for a few minutes on a break too. Cassie's birthday is also now in my phone, so mission accomplished.
Multitasking.
That's how we do.
Do we recognize the voice of this snake-like individual?
Wow, assuming much? What if they just have a speech impediment? Rude, Viola. Give me give me a an intelligence history check.
Oh, well, I mean, I assumed Beau would recognize that they're elongating their S's. I recognize that my intelligence is as high as his.
Sure.
That's a 9.
Okay. It definitely gives you the impression of some kind of lizardy or serpenty of some type creature.
I think Viola had just asked if, like, what the issue was and if they were friendly or whatnot. I don't know. I think that's where we stopped. I don't think we got an answer to that yet.
I think they said that you guys were trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
land was ours or something like that.
This is their territory. You're trespassing.
We don't mean to trespass. We're here to try to help. We heard there were things going on here that might need outside assistance.
And you think that you can do anything about it? Some strange little travelers in a place you don't belong.
That's us. So what's the problem?
Why don't you show yourself?
It's not entirely our way. We like to scout more than we like to be seen. We like to see
And
more than
who's
we like
the
to be seen.
hour?
You're clever. Me and my partner here.
Would
Hi.
your partner like to say something?
Would you? There's a moment of silence, and he speaks again. It seems not. What you can do, if you'd like to leave here with your lives one way or another, you could just drop off any unnecessary additional baggage, and by that I mean all of your additional baggage, and just turn back around.
I don't think we have time for me to unload all of the baggage I'm carrying right now.
So,
It's a
at
lot.
the end of the
True.
day, you're just bandits, essentially.
We have claim in our territory that you are walking in.
Yeah,
And if you're going to
bandit
walk this way,
claim,
we have a right to it.
but bandit claim, essentially.
I don't like your tone. This is our territory. If
Well,
you
it's a bit of a
walked in, clearly
letdown,
it's
really, to
a
be
gift for us.
bound by just some bandits. I thought you were more interesting.
Well, you were the one who got bound. Are you going to drop your things and leave, or are you going to keep walking to your doom? Because one way or another, it's either us or it's the Horde.
Ooh. And who are they?
Oh, you might find this interesting. It's a great big horde of midnight beasts.
Oh, well, that actually sounds like exactly what we're here to fix.
Fix? You really think so?
Do you have siblings, by the way?
We have a whole clan.
See, 'cause I recall killing someone that sounded somewhat like you. Would it happen to be like a sister or cousin?
Could be.
Wow.
Have you been in this swamp long?
Wasn't in the swamp.
Then it was an hour.
So you guys don't ever leave.
We don't need to. We have all we need here.
You need Midnight Beasts?
We also have extra, I suppose.
Are you enjoying the presence of the Midnight Beasts?
They're obstacles, but these don't move far from the tree.
So
Well,
So
how
we
about
can-
we remove this obstacle for you, and then we leave. Everybody's happy.
And there's a chuckle. Give me a persuasion. A persuasion check. All of you.
Group persuasion check. All
Group
right, we're staying
persuasion,
in
let's
bed.
go!
Oh.
23.
Josh is like, I got this, guys.
I got a 26.
11!
17.
Okay.
I forgot my persuasion's positive now, not just 0.
Here you get 1.
Okay.
You do have a tactical mind. Or is that only if you fail?
I don't
I think
that's
that's
enough for
only if I
this.
fail.
But you got an 11, right?
Yeah, she got above 10.
Yeah.
Funny, my note here says beat 10.
Yes. Even
Um,
Viola can be charismatic when she tries.
Or maybe
We
it's
love her.
before she's tried too hard.
That could be.
Okay. You hear him chuckle. You also hear another chuckle from a nearby, but not the exact same direction. Give me 1 second. The only catch with Milanote is that if I don't keep little things with my current notes, then I have to go find them. But I found them because I know where they are. Okay, that's you hear that first voice speak again, and he says, if you want to remove the midnight beasts from our territory, you would be doing my people a great service, and we won't choose to take a little toll from you walking through our area. The Azji tribe will thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Who are you for?
We're called Vivere.
I'm Snow. Nice to meet you.
Vivere and Snow, are you their leader?
No.
Absolutely.
Well,
He also laughs. That's not just me.
he says again, I go by Ludan of the Azji.
Pleasure to meet you, Ludan of the Azji.
Well, Ludon, can you fix this terrain so we can move on?
There's a pause. And then you see from the direction where you heard that second bit of chuckling, you see a slender figure come out from behind one of the thicker trees there. And you can see a lizard folk coming about, his clawed hands around a very thin, serpentine-looking staff, carved to look so. He briefly looks in your direction, kind of grips the staff a little tighter, and the terrain changes back to normal.
So is this
Thank you.
person like the Iwanti or whatever it was that we saw before, or
No,
different?
this one's a lizard man.
These are lizard
essentially.
folk.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then Ludan, the one from the voice that you were speaking to, he also comes out from behind another tree, another one of the thicker trees. He looks very similar. They're dressed in this very loose garb. The colors are very earthy tones that make them very easily matched with their terrain around them. He kind of lazily leans against the tree he was behind as he's looking over the four of you. And he says, if you, Snow and the Vivere, think that you can handle that group of midnight beasts, then be my guest, and I guess we can take your belongings after you die.
But
Sounds like a
before we
plan.
die, according to you, do you have any magic that you can do to give me back or heal my little boo-boos on my feet that you gave me from that stupid grass thing you did? Pretty please?
Does he?
Maybe some berries?
got some good berries.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Pretty please?
it's not technically on the sheet, but honestly, I like that a lot. I won't even lie to you.
You know?
Viola. Hold on.
Sometimes you forget to put things in your inventory.
Yeah.
You hurt my tootsies, make them better.
He harvested them. This swamp, there's definitely an area of this swamp that has good berries. Hold on.
Just
Where are they? Here they are. Yeah. Yeah, the one with the staff, he takes out of his pocket this little pouch. And it's a small pouch. He tosses it in your direction. And when you look inside, there are these little juicy looking berries in them.
Viola
Wait, so
eats them all.
if you don't want these beasts here, how come you guys didn't take care of them?
I'm sorry, please repeat your question.
If you don't want the beasts here, why don't you guys take care of them?
It seems more hassle than it's worth. We have plenty of other room in the swamp to move about, and they seem dead set on staying there. You know what they say about midnight beasts, since you are great adventurers. You know why they're gathered, right?
You can refresh us.
Of course, I wouldn't want you to go in forgetting anything. Well, midnight beasts tend to gather around spots that are great sources of magic. So if you do survive, you might find something very interesting in that great trio.
Good to know.
Or to remember, of course. You knew.
Of course. Explains a lot. Or it has explained a lot in the past.
Viola, if you did eat all 10 of those, it's...
Wait, 10 of
10
them?
of
It's like
them?
a
If
D4
there's
or
10
something
of
like
them,
that
she wouldn't have
each.
eaten all 10 of them.
It's
I thought there
10
was going to be
berries.
like 4 or
According
5.
to the spell, it's 10 berries. I was going to do all 10, and then I was like, nah, I'll give it to him. It's 1 hit... Well, according to the new rules, it's 1 hit point each. Eating a berry restores 1 hit point. The berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. You have a week and a half's worth of sustenance.
Wait, is her stomach just going to be really full if she eats them all?
Not uncomfortably so. But
It would
if she
be
didn't
about the
know-
equivalent if you ate random berries from the woods, probably.
Well,
Listen,
then,
just
in
think about
that
the
case-
limbus bread and the hobbits who would eat whole pieces of it when they just needed a little bite.
Yeah.
In that case, she will eat all 10 of them because she could use it, that and then some.
Like, boy, I feel great. I'm not going to offer any of these to Ste'yn, who might not feel as great.
That wouldn't help her.
I was going to say,
I
it's not going
know.
to do anything for an exhaustion,
Not
and
hit
she's
point
not missing
wise.
any hit points.
Nope.
Viola, however,
No,
was
but has
missing
Ste'yn
her
eaten
points, so this is
yesterday?
great.
She is not.
Indeed.
Pull out some rations and have a snack on the rest of the way.
I'll have allowed that if you wanted to snack while you were being carted.
She'll have a little snack. She is a snack.
She do be a snack.
All right, well, then are they off?
Mhm.
I saw
I
our
think
people
we're
off.
good.
Yeah.
Y'all are heading out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The lizard folk they keep their eyes on you as you start heading the rest of the way around the lake. Ludan a couple of times kind of shakes his head, and then before too long they disappear into the rest of the swamp.
Beau is going to tell him thanks for the tip as they're walking away, and he's going to do a little ward of misfortune to the main guy that was talking to us. It's just a cantrip. It doesn't, there's no save or anything like that. And it really only matters if the person had to make a saving throw, but it's just the spite is what he's going for.
Approved. What does it do? It's
So it's a cantrip, and you hiss words of void speech. Choose one creature you see within range. The next time that creature makes a saving throw during the spell's duration, it must roll a d4 and subtract the result from the total of the saving throw. The spell then ends.
I'm curious. Okay. You know, just in case something happens. Somewhere,
It only lasts for a minute.
that's fair.
So
You kind of spitefully turn around and cast it as before they have an opportunity to then go about their business. And a few seconds later, you just get this good feeling, Beau. You're just like, you know, somewhere in this swamp, some stupid lizard man definitely just tripped and fell flat on his face because he failed to throw into a real spiky little.
well, the
bush or
spell
something.
does end when that effect happens, and it is a concentration, so he would know if it happened within the 60
And all of a sudden
seconds.
it's like, huh. Sucker.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. You guys continue traveling through you travel around the lake, still shining as it does. And you start to realize, actually, give me another perception check. We'll see what you start to realize. Realize indeed.
Oh, I got a
6.
dirty 20 that time.
6 dirty 20.
17.
17.
18.
Hey,
Oh
Beau
my
got
gosh,
the
I thought you were
highest.
gonna say 8
What was
for a
that
second.
delay?
I was
Yeah.
like, what?
8.
I had to make sure I was doing all the math right.
Mhm.
Adding the things and then subtracting the things. It's like, am I doing all the
Catherine's as
numbers?
dramatic as Ste'yn is.
Oh, absolutely. Have you not noticed?
Yes. She's just flexing that she gets this cloak, this like nice thick looking cloak that goes with her cosplay, and the rest of us are frigid because it
Oh, I'm fine.
freaking snowed in the Whatever, guys. My whole setup is directly next to outside facing windows, and it snowed where I am today.
I'm gonna say I'm quite cold.
Do you have
I'm with
curtains
ya.
up? Because I might buy a window and a curtain
No,
helps.
I just have the I just have my blinds.
Oh no, get some curtains.
One
I have-
day,
I
I'm
have
getting
near
curtains for my
automata
bedroom first.
curtains.
Nice. Oh, that just makes me think of the days like when I was a kid and I had like my Sailor Moon curtains up. No, it was Powerpuff Girls. That's even better. They were my Powerpuff Girl curtains. Anyway, all but snow, I suppose. You guys notice that as you are nearing the final curve around and you are getting towards where this ancient, enormous tree is, this area starts to it appears here that it's very dark. It is dark in this area. It seems before you realized it went from, oh, it's relatively kind of cloudy with sun poking through, and the sun really starting to kind of win the battle as you've been walking. It's been coming through again, the canopy. At this point, it is very dark here. It's as if the trees around you now, their canopies have reached and are so thick overhead here that it's letting no kind of sunlight through whatsoever. Which seems odd. It doesn't look like it ought to be kind of thick enough or tall enough, but it is definitely dark in this area.
Does it feel like dark? Like the dark that we've walked into before in different places or experienced?
It does not feel like it doesn't feel like an evil kind of darkness, but it doesn't
Does
feel
it
like a
feel
natural kind of darkness either.
Does it
Not a
feel like
darkness, not a darkness, but a
Yeah. The
Yes.
darkness. Kassie?
does it feel like Viola's maybe the only one who can't see right now?
If you go much further, there appears to be, it's more like dim in this area, but if you went much further, you can see where it goes from dim to like you could not see further. You do, however, hear what sounds like low kind of growling from up ahead, but you don't see anything.
Well, let's take a moment to pause. First off, if we go much further, I'm going to be the only one visually impaired. Second off, maybe
Humans.
Claude would like to go up and... Okay, you know what? I'm going to ignore that. But maybe Claude would like to go up and check things out, see exactly what we're up against.
I think it's gonna be hard to see if there's as dark as the dark itself.
Oh, Claude can make do. Bats
Go
have
for it.
blind sight.
That is pretty good. I was like, does Claude have dark, or can he see in magical darkness?
Nope, doesn't need to.
Doesn't need to. That bat is coming in clutch. I will not even lie to you.
We love Claude.
But if that's what we want to do, Beau or send him.
Okay. Blind sight. So you can sense creatures without
So
any
if you have
any
blind
actual
sight, you can see within a specific range without relying on physical sight. Within that range, you can see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you have the blinded condition or in darkness. Moreover, in that range, you can see something that has the invisible condition, and his range is 60 feet.
Ooh.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Oh,
What?
one more time, Josh. Sorry, give it a second. I think your computer needs to catch up. Which gives me a second to read this thing real quick.
Ooh. That is a very handy blind sight range.
Yeah, right. 60 feet. I love that. We are trucking along with things that work regardless of what I thought. Okay. Let's get the go ahead to stop stopping again. So you let Claude go free, send him out, and you're looking through his eyes, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Guidance on the bat.
Oh, I see.
Is this what we want to do? Can you give the bat guidance?
I mean, I
Guidance?
feel like it would still be because it uses Beau's modifier still because it's him looking through it. But I gain the benefits of any special senses it has, which in this case is the blind sight that it has.
Okay, so it's your senses.
I'm
but
looking
you
through
have
it.
blind sight through
Correct.
him.
Correct.
Excellent. Excellent.
So it'd be my rolls for it.
For what he's doing. He gets the consequences.
He could still, in theory, give it. He could still, in theory, give it to Claude.
I want him to pet the bat and give it guidance.
Yeah, Snow gave guidance to Claude.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Just good job. There you go. Okay, Beau, you can send him off now.
All right.
Beau's look of pure disdain as he lets.
Wanted to give him a little scritch.
Yeah.
Little scritch.
Bats are honestly, I was
Adorable.
shocked that bats are surprisingly cute. Have you ever seen a bat eating a banana? Just
Depends on the kind of bat.
Well, I remember
Fruit
Cassie
bat's
was not
very
convinced,
cute.
so I sent her a bunch of pictures to prove it.
Vampire bats, hognose bats.
Yeah, but this is a celestial bat.
Hognose bat? That sounds adorable.
Celestial
Hold on.
bat.
Hognose bat.
fruit bats, flying foxes. Those are very cute.
Yeah, Bren, I don't
Tell
know
me
if that
hognose bats not
helps
cute.
anything, but just so you know, it does register as celestial, so if there's anything in there that for some reason would ping that, then know that.
Okay, thank you. Claude goes out, and you watch as he, I guess through his eyes, you can see where it goes from, well, I guess not through his eyes, because he just has blind sight in general, but the others can see where he goes from this dimmer darkness into this much purer darkness. And immediately, Beau, you can sense that there are these. So it's a wide space, and you see that the tree, the ancient tree, this enormous tree, is set back a little bit further from the shoreline. You can sense where the trees, those still very large trees, are surrounding the mirror lake, where that bit of gap is, and where there's these expanses of just open ground around the ancient tree. In these large pockets, in these groupings around the tree, and kind of slowly in their own time moving, just kind of meandering about, but still kind of in their own areas. There are groups of these small dog-like beasts that are in the darkness. You can see there's like 3 or 4 of these groupings of them surrounding the tree. Some of them appear to be very close towards the center of the tree. They kind of sniff around there, seem to be very satisfied with whatever, and then they kind of start to move a little bit. But none of them ever seem to leave within a certain range of the tree. You also can see, or can sense, I guess, trying to see how much visually do you get.
And you
Like he
said
can sense
three.
creatures.
You said 3 or 4 groups. Can you tell how many are in a group?
Probably there's no less than like there's probably between 10 and 15 in each of these groups.
Oh, in each group?
Yes. It is a horde of these little these dog-shaped shadowy creatures that you otherwise cannot see in the dark. But through Claude's vision, his blind sight, you can. Is it only really like creatures you can make out? It's not like echolocation where it's like, oh, it bounces back here so I can see where there's a hole and things like that.
I mean, it
It's
doesn't
just
say
creatures.
anything specifically about it being creatures. It just says that you can see anything that isn't behind total cover. So if something's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a great big tree. And there seems to be where they are sniffing around, there seems to be some kind of entrance. At least some kind of entrance into what seems to be the bark, the trunk of this tree.
And there's nothing that seems to be invisible.
Um
Because it
The
also says you
creatures
could see
them-
something that has the invisible condition.
Yes, these creatures
Oh,
are
okay.
otherwise invisible. Part of their ability. They have what is called shadow blend. While they are in darkness, they are invisible. You would not
Alright.
see them had you just walked into this darkness,
But there
even
is
if you had sight.
there is a door at the far end.
Some kind of entrance that
Okay.
these shadow creatures were sniffing around.
And they don't seem to be able to go inside.
Intent would be yours to assume, but they do seem satisfied, at least, like sniffing about and then moving along. But they
Alright.
do stay within the vicinity of this giant tree. Enormous tree.
Alright, he'll bring Claude back and then relay the information about what he saw.
Excellent.
That is a lot of them.
That is a lot of them.
How many will we?
About 40 or
Nice.
50.
40 or 50 in total.
That is. a lot of them.
I don't know what you said.
Oh, I was about to message it. I didn't know if you had more to say. Yeah, the microphone seems very unhappy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of them.
Oh,
In
I
his
see.
very snow way.
It is.
Should we try to lure some of them out? See if we can bring them out of that darkness?
We can try that. But how?
What else are you thinking? Haven't figured that out yet.
Well, what if we did a lure but a timed one? So something triggers over here while we are over closer to that door.
Perhaps.
One thing as well, I realized I forgot to mention. What you had noted that the trees appear to be kind of like over and above you, the canopies relatively thick, but still like that's how you can tell it's magic darkness of some kind, and that it would not be able to otherwise like block out that much light. Some of these the tree. What were your perceptions? You probably don't remember. I can't ask.
I got
18,
a-
17, 20 something, and I don't have Snow's
It was a
written down.
dirty 20. I think Snow's was like an 8. I think his was still in the single digits.
Thank you.
I could be wrong.
How many had 20 or above?
Beau's the only one that hit
Just
20.
Beau.
Okay. Beau, you also note that the foliage looks very, again, it looks very like rich and thick and healthy, so to speak. Although some of the leaves have also fallen, but none of the leaves that have fallen look like they are otherwise like, you know, autumnal colors, or the seasonal correct
So
term.
there's a
I'd have
bunch
to
of
look.
trees that are like interconnected, essentially.
Not so much interconnected, but they do make that very thick canopy, and some of those leaves have also fallen. But the leaves that have fallen don't look like those autumnal colors. They also look like summery thick leaves that have also fallen to the grass.
But the branches that are all overlapping with the trees is mainly what I'm thinking.
There are some that are, yeah, crisscrossing and. But I just wanted to add that bit. You notice just the leaves. They don't look like they ought to maybe have fallen.
I don't know what you're saying.
You might need to type. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, your mic's like not working at all.
I know that must be frustrating. But if you start to type, I will keep an eye out for typing. Do we want to have a space of safety to fall back to in case they swarm us? He can make the hut.
Perhaps.
I can make the hut.
But you can't move if you're in there. So we'd be separating.
Splitting the party?
It'd be
In my
safe,
wholesome Christian D&D?
theoretically.
Well, how about this? You make a hut, and then I can try to at least see if we can get through the door. I can use the trees to get above them.
Maybe get a better look, yeah.
Could Claude go through the door?
Was it open or closed, or is it just like a doorway?
I mean, he's otherwise blind. He knows that where those creatures were moving about, he knows where the tree is.
Yeah, but he would know if there was a doorway that he perceived. He'd be able to tell, oh, there's something
that's what I meant
closed,
was,
or
like,
oh, it's opened.
That's what I meant as far as, like, does he have something like echolocation where it's kind of telling you, like, oh, there's something this close, and then there's like a.
Yeah, but
You know
since
what
he
I
could
mean? Like, that's
see
what I was
in
trying
the
to
dark,
understand.
if he could be able to tell, oh, it stops there, or oh, it keeps going further.
Yeah, if that's the case, then it appears to be more of like, not even more of, it's more like an archway, an otherwise open archway. Very designed, very geometric, not very natural looking. You want to pause a second? Do we
Yeah, I was pausing.
Okay. I was
Take
going
a
to say, do we
short
want to take a
break?
quick break now, while we're already fussing around with some of the tech stuff?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
Cool. Gives me a chance to get more water. I know I didn't look it, but before we started, I was definitely drinking more water. So we'll take a quick break. We'll see what we can do about some of the tech, and then we'll come back and see what we can do about a bunch of midnight beasts.
Let's
Right.
go. Let's go.
It is switched.
Woo! Welcome back. All right. So we have a great expanse of swampland and a great big tree and a neat little horde of midnight beasts that are surrounding this great big tree. And you guys apparently have some kind of plan to start trying to enact, and I'm nervous. Let's see what happens. No, so what is the
I don't think we
the thought here?
determined the specific plan. Beau presented an idea, but I
Okay.
don't think we really decided on anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Feel free to-
scouting might be good. I don't think going forward, weapons blazing is going to be the answer here, as much as I'd love to cleave some midnight beasts in two. I think we have to be a little smarter about it.
I agree.
So do we want to be sneaky? Do we want a distraction?
Should I take my armor off? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
No,
kidding. I'm just
no,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I swear I'm kidding.
I
I have
think
to tease when I can.
the tent could be good as a fallback. But
Right.
It's something that has to be set up ahead of time, correct? Like it's not an instantaneous thing that can be set up ever.
Correct.
So maybe we could take a few minutes and get the hut set up while we want Beau or Claude to try and scout through that opening and see if there's something to be found there that might give us an edge or any sort of clue. What are we thinking?
Sounds good to me.
Snow sits down on the ground and starts casting the hut ritually.
What are you thinking, Beau?
I mean, I can scout it, yeah.
You seem hesitant.
Hmm?
You seem hesitant.
No, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
About care to share?
Routes to get in.
Is there something inside the tree that is useful? Or are we just interested?
The lizard folk hinted that there might be something inside if we can clear it. Knowing
But if we can clear it, though.
They're also
Is it-
attracted to magic, so if the whatever's creating the magic is gone, won't they leave? Unless it's the
think
tree
maybe.
itself. I don't know.
From what the Fairbolgs told us, I believe the tree itself is likely a strong source of something. But so once again, should we try to maybe lure some of them out? We can have the hut to fall back into if we need. And start seeing what it takes to get rid of them.
We could, yeah, test how strong they are.
We could let who test?
We can, if we lured some out, we could test
Yes.
how strong they are.
Yes.
I'm
So I
happy
guess the
to
question
test.
is, how do we? Well, do we make some noise? Do we?
Maybe once the hut's up, we stand near the hut and
Go a little bit, probably go a little bit
Make a
closer,
little-
see if we can attract some attention.
yeah.
Well,
Don't want to.
you can hear from outside the hut. If you yelled while we were in it, you might get some of them.
Mm-hmm. That would tell us how many will come if they will come. Maybe if one of us, maybe Beau, you could hide in a tree and throw daggers at him and see.
Yeah, if we don't lure any, I could try throwing from a tree.
Well, I just meant if we do lure some, maybe throwing a dagger at them to see if that does any damage, if it does much damage.
Technically, you can throw daggers at it from inside the hut, as
That
long
is
as you're
true.
inside of it when I cast it.
That is true. And that means I can shoot arrows as well.
Yes, you just can't cast from inside the hut to outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too big a problem.
Unless it's 4th level or higher.
Well,
gonna cast-
Viola definitely doesn't have anything that high.
We're gonna cast divination through the hut.
Alright,
All
so
right, let's-
once the hut is up, were we trying this shout method first?
Shout or yeah?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan to me.
If that doesn't lure any, we can always try. I can send a bolt of something, cast a cantrip towards the tree, and see if we get attention that way.
Don't we not want to harm the tree?
It wouldn't be. I said towards the tree, not at the tree.
Can you even
But
see the
also-
tree from here? Can we even see the tree from
Can
here?
You have
Top of it.
Can you see into magical darkness?
No.
Then no, you
I
cannot.
can't see in any darkness.
We'll
We'll try the dagger error method and see if we can get some attention.
Alright. Well, give it a good shout.
All right. So once
Is
the
the-
hut is cast, we step into it, and we will make a racket.
So you have this kind of dim, not kind of, you have this dim light area as you are getting near to these overhanging trees, and then there's that moment where it becomes that magical darkness. So where are you setting the hut? Are you guys still hanging out in that dim?
In the dim,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
we're not
assume
setting
that-
up
By the
the
edge of
hut
it?
in the dark. Yeah.
Okay. And then you start a cacophony of noise.
I figured you would
And
just use
such.
thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy wouldn't extend past the
Oh.
hut.
Okay, but you can
Oh.
literally just stick your head out.
Yeah.
We'll do that then. That's big brain thoughts.
Snow has a point. Remember, you have to move the curtain aside, move the door open, and then cast it.
You have to find the door first, then
Stick
you
her
can
head
stick
out.
it
And use
Viola
thaumaturgy,
continues to try to find the door.
and we'll just call at the beasts with a very
Okay.
loud voice.
Use thaumaturgy, and your voice rings out into the darkness. Give me a perception check, all of you.
Yeah.
Got a 15.
Okay.
16.
24.
And Snow? Who may or may not need to type it? Was it a... gotcha. Okay. Ste'yn, Viola, and Beau, you are able to, when her voice finally peters out, you guys are able to hear some kind of movement in that darkness as you're listening intently, because you can't see. but whatever it is does not broach the darkness. It does appear to, in short order, the sounds go back. It almost sounds like, it sounds very much like footsteps that then go back and then disappear, get quiet again. So something seems to have maybe approached to just curious, but it was not interesting enough to pull it from the vicinity.
Right.
As you're considering options and waiting and watching some more of these leaves kind of drop around you, one or two.
Maybe we have to go in.
Or you could try throwing something in. Shooting
What if
something
we
in there.
caused a fire?
And how
But
would
what
you
if it
stop
burns
it
down
from
the
hurting
tree?
Well, we can. It's a big tree. You'll have some time.
Let's put that on the back burner for now.
Back better. I like that.
You're welcome.
But
Inspiration.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Haven't had any.
shooting into the dark might be the next idea then. And if we wound one of them, they'll come running.
Take a shot in the
I
dark.
can do that.
And Beau would just throw a
Okay.
dagger so that way we're not using any physical resources. You only have so many shots.
You ruin all the fun.
I mean, if you want to waste your crossbow bolts, he has an
Where's
endless
your
supply of
rationale,
psionic
logic?
dice. I mean, psionic daggers. Yeah, just throw one in there.
Just blindly throwing
Yeah,
the dagger.
he'll use steady aim to help him out a little bit, but
You aim for something in the dark.
yeah, just hopefully hit something.
Okay. So when you're aiming for something you cannot see, that's disadvantage, right?
But with steady aim, it would become
Makes it regular.
regular.
Okay.
Oh, he only got a 10 that attempt.
Let me see what is hiding in the dark. 10, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it goes. I mean, you don't
All
imagine.
right, well, we got nothing
You'll
else
hear
to do,
anything.
so he's gonna do it again.
Go for it.
Okay, we're getting diminishing returns. That's a 9. All right, well, third time.
Maybe throw a rock or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. The third
Is
time
there
is
a rock or a large stick
You
nearby?
got a 15 that time.
A 15. To aim at something in the dark. Yeah, you hear a small kind of yelping sound, very, very canine-like. What's the damage?
6.
Fantastic. You hear a small yelp, a little growl, but it sounds like out there. Like whatever that near the full range of your dagger, potentially.
Well, it could take a long time, but in theory, we could just attack it from the trees.
I mean, we
Beats
could
this.
just
Beau's gonna walk out of the hut and then climb a tree, and then from that tree, go towards a tree that's in the dark part to see what he can make out from there.
Okay.
He's gonna
So
tell
you-
them that that's his plan. He's not doing it silently.
He's actually gonna let you in on this one. Okay. You go, so you climb up one of the trees,
hmm
and you're heading towards the edge of where it reaches that magical darkness again.
Taking one of the branches over to like another tree that would be in the dark.
The branches the further you go, 'cause these are these are tall trees, but they're not as thick and tall as the ones that are near the lake. The branches, the further in they go, before they're going to reach another tree's branches, they're going to be very thin. They're not going to necessarily hold you that far out.
All right, we're gonna jump.
Okay. Give me. That is a. Oh my gosh! Now I've got Savage World stats stuck in my head. That is a.
Acrobatics.
Yes. But it's going to be a disadvantage. That is a. Those are flimsy and distant.
All right, so that would be a 17.
Okay. You give yourself a little bit of room. Thankfully, with Spider Climb, you don't have to worry too much about footing, and a little extra oomph, and you leap. The tree definitely, as you take hold and get yourself on there, it is bouncing with your weight, but it's kind of, you're able to get to a spot that will hold you. So you're on another one of the trees.
Okay, can he make out anything from where he is?
Are you still in the? There's nothing in the
Well, he
dim.
was-
It's all in the dark.
Yeah, I know. He was jumping into the dark, so that's why I'm asking if he can see anything now that he's over there.
Not if you can't see in magical darkness.
Okay, so it's inside of it as well.
Oh yeah,
I
if
didn't
you
know if
went
it
into
was.
the darkness.
I didn't know if it was like a veil between the two of them,
Mhm.
or if it was
Gotcha.
once you're in there. So that's what he was also
It's
testing.
magical darkness.
I want to double check something here.
As you're considering and thinking and waiting, another leaf drops from where Beau had jumped on this tree, shook another one loose.
Ste'yn would like to try dispelling the magical darkness with Dispel Magic. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any ongoing spell of level 3 or lower on the target ends, and the target would be the darkness itself, the magical effect of that. If it's
And what's-
higher, if it's level 4 or higher, then I make an ability check. The DC is 10 plus the spell's level to see if I can do it.
Okay. Let me pull up.
Why did we decide to not have Claude investigate inside the tree?
Oh, please tell me
I
that
don't
wasn't like a
know.
simultaneous thing, and I missed it.
Beau is no longer with us. I cannot ask. We do not have a mind link.
No, the one time.
Oh, didn't want Claude to get hurt.
That is the most precious thing Beau has ever said.
He hasn't said it.
Nice.
I said it. Bo's up there.
That's the most precious thought Beau has ever had. Actually, it's not. Probably something involving Vivia is. Ste'yn, you can cast you can attempt to cast the spell magic.
So
You
I
do
need
not
to make a roll for it.
So it's instantaneous, otherwise, unless it's at a higher level, is that it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No, you do not need to make a roll. So I'm sorry. You cast it. What's the range? It's just. Does it have
So
a
it has
range?
so the spell magic I can target an effect within 120 feet of me, and then that whole effect, if the spell works, drops. It's dispelled.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm dispelling a range of it unless there's multiple points where it's coming from, and each of those would be its own effect. It'd be the entire effect.
You cast the spell magic into this darkness. And what you see is where Beau, you can see Beau for a moment, and there appears in that same way as if a sunbeam breaking through a storm cloud, you see this jet of just sunlight. It's not anything special. It's not whatever. It's just sunlight, as you had seen from the sun breaking through the clouds earlier on your walk. This jet of sunlight. Beau is on this branch surrounded by those lush looking leaves. And then in a moment, again, you see the light seems to just collapse, and that area is refilled with this darkness. And you can no longer see Beau. But it appears to have dispelled it for some amount of time.
So, new plan.
Beau, what you notice, sorry, real quick. Beau, what you notice is that
His eyes are stinging because of a ray of light that hit him.
because you're suddenly blind. Sunlight. No, what you notice is, actually, let me reword this. So when the beam of sunlight appeared, Beau was not surrounded, in fact, by this branch full of leaves. The branch looked bare. And then those leaves seemed to grow back. And as those leaves refilled that branch, that darkness seemed to reappear and the sunlight seemed to collapse around it, overwhelmed by the magical darkness.
All right. So, new plan. Beau's going to bring back Claude and then use his bonus action to look through Claude's eyes and have his senses. Does he see a path for himself from where he is to the tree in general?
Like one clear path?
Yeah, like a way, like if he had to go down the tree, like is there a way that he could like circumvent them and get to the tree?
He could find a way, but what you notice as you look through Claude's eyes is that each one of these groups are just kind of moving. They're constantly moving. So
Well, they're moving in like a pattern.
Not a specific pattern, no.
They just are completely
They just
sporadic.
seem to stay.
They don't like go to a certain point and then turn around like they were doing with the doorway.
Not exactly. They just seem to all stay within the vicinity of the tree. But he could get to the tree. You could maneuver around them if you're just if he's mindful, he could get around them. He's also
very
can fly.
mindful.
Very
well, no,
mindful.
I'm thinking about Beau getting to them, not Claude.
Yeah. Again, if you're mindful, you could get around them.
Okay.
If you were sneaky enough, but also you can't just walk past them. They might see you.
Yeah,
Or would
so
see
this
you.
is what he's going to do. He's going to have Claude kind of like perch in his hand or something. Oh, actually on his shoulder. He's going to have Claude perch through his shoulder because it's a bonus action to see through his eyes and to hear through his ears. But it doesn't mean that he can't walk, and it doesn't mean he doesn't have actions because it's just a bonus action to do that. So he's going to use his sight to guide Beau's body as he maneuvers down the tree and stealths towards the other tree.
Towards another tree.
Towards the
towards
big
the
tree.
ancient.
The big tree.
So I will make it super duper clear then. It would be like walking in a big open area. These are not like
Well,
they're not like,
trees?
oh, all creatures are looking to the left and so you can walk behind them. They're scattered all about, looking in all directions. They just won't leave the vicinity of the tree.
And
They're
how
trying to
far
just
away
walk
is it?
through. You're maybe, I don't know, another. Oh, I'm real bad with distances. It would take you more than a single turn to run across.
But how far is it? Because that's not being too clear.
What? Well, Beau can dash, 75 feet or something?
Well, if he's
think
using
it's
his
more than
bonus
that.
action for Claude, then he can only go 70.
Yeah, it's probably between that and like 100 feet. You're some ways out. I mean, you could try to run it. It's just, it would be very difficult to not be spotted. It'd be like trying to stealth in broad daylight with a bunch of people looking at you.
What's the tree situation? Because, like, is it like a clearing within a ring
Yeah,
of
that's
trees,
why I was
and the
confusing me,
big
'cause
trees on the
first it's-
opposite side, or is the big tree in the middle of a clearing?
Yeah, at first it
see it
sounded like we were in
happen.
forest, and then it sounded like we were in a swamp, and then it sounded like there's no trees at all. So I'm very confused on the
No,
surroundings.
the ancient tree is set back. Hold on, let's get
Is there a
nice
map?
clear page. Not of this part. But okay, this is super duper bright, and
I
I'm
realized
gonna
Beau.
drag you guys.
Can we retroactively say that Beau set up a mind link? Because I didn't think about that till now.
You can come back, set up a mind link, and then go.
Yeah,
So I
well,
was
it
gonna be
was
like, you
rough
can do that.
jumping from the tree already.
You can leave the darkness. There are none of them seem to be coming terribly close to where
Oh,
you
they
are
aren't close
currently.
to where he is?
Okay, hold on.
Because you made it sound like if he went down the tree, they would be instantly on him. But
no,
if they
you were
aren't
saying
that
that
close,
he was gonna run.
well, if they
you were
aren't that
saying-
close, he can sneak up a ways. If it's only 100 feet max from where he is, he can sneak up some and then dash.
Let's take a look at the map.
Sure, you can do that. I'm just saying you'll likely
Well-
have creatures on your tail very quickly, but you can.
I mean, that's well. There's nothing on this map, so it doesn't really help.
No,
looking
it's
at
not
this.
there yet. Give me a second.
Can
Well, I
you
was saying
see
it-
the tree in the middle of this map?
Imagination.
This is what Beau saw when Ste'yn flashbanged him.
Just giving a visual for that moment.
Okay, let's see. We've got a great big. Oops, that's not great big tree. Anything. Hold on. So we got
Like
this big old-
Pictionary.
We got this tree over here. Okay, and we've got. We're gonna freehand some. No, yeah, we're gonna freehand some. No. We've got little trees. Other trees. Oops. Say we've got trees back here. Oop. Trees.
Yeah, so that's 75 feet.
Right? And so all within, right? Just all within this whole area around this very interesting to these creatures tree, just within the ring, these creatures are all moving about, right? It is a horde of midnight beasts. They are all moving about. So you could make this dash. You could attempt to stealth and make this dash. However, making this dash to the tree, you are almost bound to be spotted in that these creatures are not visible to you.
Well,
Except
they
through
are
Claude,
visible
they
to him
are.
right now.
Through Claude, but you
Yes.
are very visible to them without any assistance. You are very visible. So you could. It would just be very difficult. This is the first time I had to draw something like this on the fly, and this is
Yeah.
why I try to have maps.
I mean, all I have to do is get to any part of the tree, then you can just run up it.
Could. And then you'd be in the dark by a tree.
Yeah, but then the archway sounded high, so we could just walk on top of the archway.
Sure. Where are the others? Did you want to say you put that mind link connection in?
I
You
mean,
did
if
want
we're
to.
able to say that he did that, if we don't want to say that he is able to, then I'm also fine with that.
It wouldn't take you much at all, like I said, like within that ring, if you wanted to step back and have done it. Like, I'm okay with it. You can go ahead and do it.
Okay. Then
How long do we have it for?
I need to roll. I was trying to find it on here to mark it off.
I left my water bottle in the
We
kitchen.
have it for
I'll be
1
right back.
hour.
Right. Better than no hours.
True.
One hour of mind link.
Yep.
If you don't make progress soon, Beau, I'm gonna do something crazy.
Wait, she can't hear that. Gosh
No.
dang it.
You can see Snow like pacing in the hut. He's very bored.
Another leaf falls by you.
All right. Well, if that's the distance it is, and they're on that kind of route, then he's gonna tell him what his plan is. I guess he'll tell it to Ste'yn and ask her to relay it in case there are any concerns. So that way he's not saying it 3 times.
She will relay the plan.
Well, why don't you just send Claude through to see if it's even worth it for you to run over there?
I have my reasons.
So,
Does it sound...
I think we need to try something. I think we're sitting here not making
All
any
right.
progress.
Yeah.
He is...
So if we're not doing this, we need to
do
do something different.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's gonna do it. He's gonna carefully go down the tree, and then he's gonna stealth as long as he can keep it up.
Okay. Give me a stealth check with disadvantage.
Even if he can see?
Again, you're trying to stealth basically in front of all of these creatures.
Okay. So question, if I used heroic inspiration, it's a reroll on a fail. So I got a 10 there. Does that fail?
Yes.
Okay. So if I reroll, is that still or do I just roll the die that was rerolled?
Is it re-rolling the roll? Is that what a re-roll would be?
If you can expend to reroll any die immediately after rolling it.
The die, then just re-roll the die.
All right.
It won't be another disadvantage.
I'm not rolling this one. That one got a 4.
Dice jail.
And this one got a 4 too.
No!
Oh wait, he has psionic dice. Okay, so that bumps up to a 14.
You come down the tree and you're using Claude's senses to help and start dashing to get around, and you start hearing.
Well, he
from
wasn't
one group-
dashing, he was stealthing.
You start sneaking your way without much. And before long, there is you get some distance.
Okay,
Maybe a
can you
quarter
mark
way.
it? Can you mark on the map? Show me
It's
where.
not- It's not
Show me
super
where it is.
exact. It's not super exact.
Well, you said like right here?
Like a quarter way, so maybe over here-ish, if you were starting back here. That's probably a third, and that's also fine. But
Okay, sounds good. It's only 50, so her uses walking movement, and then her uses action to dash, so that'll get him the 70 feet to get to the base of it and up some.
okay. And you start with, there's one group of these dog-like creatures that start barking, growling, and it sets off this chain of barking, growling, vicious, spitting, midnight mastiffs that are now surrounding the tree, clawing to try and get to you. Are you inside or outside? Or you're just kind of within that little arch?
I mean, he wasn't aiming for the arch specifically. He just wanted to get to the tree so he could be up. And then he was going to work his way to the arch afterwards.
Yeah, you can get up. Yeah, and you get a sense that they are potentially going to try and climb as well. As best as a dog with very, well, at least the outline of what looks like a very large dog could try and climb with large dog claws. But you have their attention. At least you have a good group of their attention. Before too long, others start to kind of meander away, but not too far. You definitely have a good group.
Oh man, he should have brought all the rope, and we could have zip-lined.
Viola could shoot it across, except she can't see anything.
I don't hate that idea at all. I wish you had done it. Next time in our outdoor
Alright, I made it to the tree. They aren't happy.
You guys, you heard the dogs going off immediately.
Alright. Do you want to try going inside?
Yes, I will do that now. So he will head towards, and he'll be on the top of the archway, and then he will walk inwards that way, being on the top of it.
You start walking inwards and into the innards of this enormous tree. And you note that it is in here. This feels very Veil-like. As you're leaving this magical darkness, it is now just a very plain standard darkness. What you see inside, blah 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 blah. The first thing you notice is that it is damp, right? It feels very humid in there, as if it's drawing moisture from the lake itself. There's also a kind of twinge feeling on your skin, very uncomfortable, almost stinging. Reminds you very much of I think you had a brief acid encounter while you were walking. And you do spot, as you come around the corner and you're able to start to step along that inner wall, the bark inside of the walls looks like it is kind of smoothed over with this sheen. And the moment you put your foot onto the bark of the inside of the wall, before you necessarily lose your footing, you do feel it slip. I'll say you still have a hold of where you were, but that does not feel like something you could necessarily just spider climb across. It feels like a slick surface. Yeah, I'll give that one to you for free.
I mean, it doesn't say slick surfaces or anything like that really impedes it. It just says you can go across surfaces.
Well, you can go across surfaces you have a grip on. This
doesn't
feels
say
like
anything
it
about
is...
grip, because you can just walk on it. You don't need grip.
Well, you can't walk up like a waterfall.
Well, yeah, but that's not a solid surface. That's a liquid.
Correct.
So are you saying the walls are liquid, or are you saying that they are solid?
The walls are covered in something that would make that difficult for you to just walk
But
on.
covering is not making, because if you cover a rock, if you put water on a rock, you could still step on a rock, and it's still a solid surface. That doesn't make it water.
Hold on. I did look this up ahead of time, and I felt very confident, and I continued to. Hold on. Spider climb. Up and down across vertical surfaces along ceilings while leaving its hands free. Vertical surfaces. Yes, but if something is impeding your ability to hold to it, is what I'm saying. There is, like, it is a some kind of viscous something that it is very slick, right? Like, you wouldn't be able to just, right? Like, something is you're holding to something, and that something is not steady. It's not stable.
I mean, I could see you saying that he could slide while being on it, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I can no longer be on this instantly as soon as he steps on it.
It would be
the equivalent of maybe walking on something that's icy, but you could still step on it.
I suppose you could. I'm trying to. I mean, if you start to slip, where are you going to go?
I mean, at that
Not
point,
still on it. You don't have a grip on it. You'd be falling.
yeah, if he
Because it's
slips up
vertical.
on it. Yeah, if he slips
Right.
up on it, but he hasn't slipped on it yet.
No, I know. I'm giving you a heads up. So before you're not slipping at this point. I'm giving you the heads up that if you were to step forward, just start to try and walk on it, it's going to be a slick surface he does not have a grip on.
So
But
would
you
that
could
be like
s-
difficult
So,
terrain?
yeah, I was gonna say, so he could still like walk on it though. It would just be he would need to be careful.
See, I don't. That's not how I'm reading it. Like, it's just like it. You gain the ability move up and down across vertical surfaces along ceilings while leaving its hands free. Right? It still seems like something you need to be able to touch.
It's not like he's using
Properly and grip.
pincers or something like that. It's his shoes. It's not like there's hooks
Well, it's
coming out of his
you.
feet.
No, I know, right?
So,
but
the
Mhm.
slippers of spider climbing specify that the slippers don't allow you to move this way on a slippery surface, such
Yep.
as one covered by ice or oil.
Well, that would be good if he had those slippers, but he's not using slippers.
But it would be the same. It's the same magic, is it not?
It
I mean,
is.
it's a different kind of description.
In this instance, right? So whatever it is covering the entirety of what you can see. You see the sheen. You could attempt to keep your grip, but it wouldn't be just like, yeah, I can walk across this. Like, you'd be slipping and sliding to try and maintain, right? Like, it'd be essentially like trying to maintain a climbing. The point being, it's meant to be protected, right? Like, you get that sense. Like, he can't just walk across. There's some kind of roll he's going to need to make, or some kind of something he needs to do to make to hold on. Because it's not just a simple surface that he's on. It is very purposefully
Is there anything in the room?
covered.
Or is he not in a room yet?
No, so there does not appear to be very much. How far can he see?
60 feet.
60 feet in darkness? Okay. It does seem to extend beyond that. This is a cavernous, almost like it's bigger on the inside. No, it is a cavernous, very, very large tree. It goes up out of your sight, and but you can see the ground, obviously. That also does seem to kind of dip a bit. Where you are, though, you just see dark, kind of dirt-packed ground. You see some roots coming up below. You can see up along the bark, again, that sheen that's covering all this inside. And no, so that's what you can see for now. It does kind of extend a little bit, on the other side of the entryway. There does seem to be some kind of little divot along the opposite of where you are, or at least what looks like maybe the start of some kind of... Actually, no, that would be further down. Never mind. I lied.
Right, and have the dogs followed him in up to this point, or have they stopped?
They have not. They have not.
Alright, well then he's going to tell them that the dogs have stopped and that he's inside.
You're dealing with
Do we-
all of this barking outside while trying to also communicate with them through your head. So it's like dual action.
Do we want to come up with a way of getting everyone in here?
We could try.
Right, and do you have any thoughts?
Is there something in there for all of us to do?
Well, he's messaged Ste'yn so far. I don't know if she said something to everyone.
Oh. I thought you sent it to the group. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
because
she'll
he
relay
exited one
information.
by another. He exited one by one.
The downfall of this feature. It's such a
Yes.
convenient
Only
feature,
one.
except for this one.
Except for
It's so
this.
convenient until it's not.
Beau says he's
Viola
inside.
Viola asks Beau if it's dark in there.
It's actually light.
Do you see anything in the tree?
You see, you just said it was cavernous, right?
And dark. And cavernous.
I thought you said it was light in here.
It's not magical darkness. It's dark though.
Oh, well.
You have dark vision.
He
yeah?
thought, yeah, he feels it like it's
Okay.
light.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's fine,
That's what
yeah.
I was like, does he want to correct that or is he just being Beau?
But there's not like structure or things or anything like that. It was just
Not within your current purview. You do not see anything like that. Just looks like a big cavernous inside. Someone carved out some great big innards of a tree.
basically a big cave.
Is there anything useful in the cave? Like, because I could get everyone in there, but I don't really want to waste my magic on that if it's not helpful.
Well, from what I can tell, which is only 60 feet, it's not. I don't have the intel to tell you that. But clearly they want something from in here.
Can you go further in?
Did
Or
Snow relay that to her?
I think
Let's assume they're sharing the
We're
conversation in the hut.
sharing our thoughts with class.
I really don't want to do that every time.
If we were to distract the dogs to one side, would Ste'yn or I be able to run in with you so you're not moving forward on your own just in case?
Well, they are angry. I might be able to move them to a direction if I keep their attention.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if Ste'yn's gonna go in there, I could distract him because I kind of have a sense that they're probably not gonna move too far away from this.
Well, I would
magical...
stay on the tree and I would just walk away from the archway.
Oh.
They'd follow me. If you distract on
Alright.
the outside, it will be hard for you to get inside.
Well, I was thinking if one of us was distracting, then the other one going.
Another little leaf fall.
Let's try it.
Okay, is there something with these leaves that keep getting mentioned?
I don't know. And Beau mentioned burning them.
Passing of time. The tree is dying while we talk about this, so let's do
Gotcha. Okay.
The
we're wasting a
tree.
lot of time chatting tonight. But let's try and
Do it.
whatever it is we want to do, we'll do it. Let's
Beau,
just
make a distraction.
Alright.
Let's see what happens.
Beau's gonna attempt to do a distraction.
What would you like to do, Beau?
Actually, before you make a distraction, throw something straight out from the archway so that those who can't see where the archway is will have a straight line to it.
Well, none of you will
Just
see where
none
it
of us.
is.
So make a straight line to it for us.
so like if you throw something that reaches out of the darkness, we know exactly where that thing came from and can run right towards it.
I like to talk myself up as much as the next person, but I can't throw something like that.
Can you have Claude guide us?
Well, you won't be able to see him in there.
Can we
He
hold
can
on to his
grab
little
you with
leg?
his little feet and pull you through. Just tug you in the right direction. And you follow the tugs on your finger.
Or
Ah,
can you tell us whether or not we're going the right direction based off of seeing through Claude if he is with us?
Probably can't do that and make a distraction at the same time. So,
At least tell us if we're in the right spot and facing the right direction before we go.
Sorry, I'm reading something.
is the entire interior of the tree cavernous?
From the 60 feet, I can see.
Would you like to move beyond 60 feet?
Just a big room.
I will say the sheen was not on the ground.
All right.
Although it is like packed damp earth.
How about this? I can, if you give me some time, I can make a little servant to walk you back, but it's kind of slow.
Like club service.
Or I could just shout what direction to go to.
That works. Let's do that. It's faster.
Just let's go.
Yep.
All right, so you are first try to distract the dogs. I don't know what he would need to
do
roll.
what or go where or do what are you trying to where
so
are
he's
you trying to get them to go?
Well, he's just trying to get their attention. He's just gonna walk to the one of the sides of the tree. So probably the one that would be the farthest away. So he would be walking in this. Oh, whoops. He'd be walking in this direction, going around.
So
since
he's
they'll
coming
be
back
coming-
outside to get their attention and
Yes.
okay. Okay.
And kind of.
Um
He'll ring his bell.
My a bell that she can ring to be invisible.
Well, there, you could use that because they'll be focused on the ring.
Oh my goodness. I won't lie. That bell's pretty neat. Anyway, yeah, you can ring your bell and that's easily gets their attention. You come back out. Really, you come back out and the ones who have been like sniffing around at the front of the tree see you immediately. And you know because you start hearing the barking and it is ravenous and it is angry. And where you go, you hear it following. And very shortly after, just like before, the cacophony spreads through the horde and they start moving towards you, following you around the trunk. So it's some 40 or 50 of these mastiff-sized beasts barking and clawing at this tree to get at you, Beau.
All right, yeah, and then he'll walk them out, and then he'll leave, because he's just walking in a circle. He doesn't necessarily need to see, because he knows what's it. He'll have Claude to, like, do a quick check once he knows the direction. He'll leave Claude in front of the entrance of it, so that way he has a straight line of sight going away from it, and then he'll mind link whoever is leading the charge.
To make a mad dash.
Yeah.
All right, Ste'yn.
All right, we're going.
You can fly. Keep that in mind, as it
If I
might
need-
be helpful.
If it comes to that, I will. I will.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we're running for it.
Okay. We're not stealthing. We are just booking it.
Ste'yn does not have a good chance of stealthing successfully
Yeah.
today.
I
I think
so-
Viola's ringing her bell, right?
No, she's not. I just remembered that I had that bell.
I also remembered and it was like anyway. Okay. So you guys are using what to guide you again to where the entrance
Beau
is?
is mind linking whoever's leading their run, probably not Ste'yn in this case because she's slower than the rest of them right now. But so either it didn't sound like snow is coming to him, so he's going to be sending it to Viola.
Okay. And so using Beau's guidance through Claude about where to run, they're going to book it together.
Yes.
I love this for you. Okay. Okay. I will have you whoever is leading and feels confident, I would like you to give me a quick what is the trait that goes with your
Athletics?
not athletics, your acrobatics. What is the
Dexterity?
your dexterity? It's just the dexterity I wanted. It's not the acrobatics. I just wanted the dexterity. Just you guys are dashing in the dark and mindful of what might be on the ground, what bits of root knots might be popping up. But I'll allow it to be whoever's the most confident.
Viola was planning on letting Ste'yn lead, but remembering now that she's exhausted, she would also be happy to lead.
Okay.
Roll for it. Go.
Give me a dex.
Does she get advantage because of helping? Those helping? Giving
She doesn't
direction?
get disadvantage.
Oh,
she
I
gets
see.
a regular roll.
Okay.
So yes, technically.
And add a d4, you got some guidance.
Regular roll with a d4.
23.
Oh
Nice.
boy. I don't know if you guys are holding hands or just booking it together, but you run. You're able to make it past blindly. You're able to make it past any bits that might be sticking up. You can hear to your side where it is just an absolute uproar of these vicious sounding dogs. Before they can really like sniff you out and consider something else is happening, you find yourselves barreling forward from an absolute pitch blackness into a slightly less pitch blackness. If you can see in darkness, let's differentiate here in our world. If you can see in darkness,
But
you
darkness
have your
is the name
range.
of the spell that causes magical darkness.
We've got all manner
so that
of
might be
darkness
more
going on.
confusing.
You come running in. If you cannot see, it is just more darkness for you. But
So Viola
yourself
just keeps
entering.
running and running because nothing has changed for her.
Ste'yn will stop you.
Like, honey.
We're in.
And you find yourselves on different feeling ground here, where the earth feels very compact from some kind of dampness, and you can see some of the tree knots, the root knots popping up a bit.
Did Snow end up
and you
running
can
in with them? Because I wasn't saying that he couldn't do it. It just was unclear to me / Beau if he was coming in.
Snow followed, but not on foot. He polymorphed himself into a bat.
I love this for you. So you're fine. You make your way. Can Snow see in the dark?
As a bat,
Snow
he
is
can.
dark vision, but also I'm a bat, so...
Also bad. Never mind. I'm sorry. That is absolutely the conclusion we were coming to. So you make it into the heart of this enormous tree. It is ancient.
Into the great Deku tree.
You are in the great Deku tree now.
And Beau will double back to meet up with them once they let him know that they're in.
Mm-hmm. And the sounds of the mastiffs follows right up to the point of the entrance of the tree. Beau slips inside, and I guess I would just ask for some kind of like a dexterity acrobatics to maintain your
Well, now that
balance.
they're all
where
in,
it's
he'll just
slippery,
come down to the ground.
Unless you're going to drop, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And they are ravenous barking at the front of the tree where they see you all standing there. And yet, after a moment, you almost seem to bore them. They stay, they do their little sniff around, and then they kind of, the hordes and the little group start to spread, continuing this little dance around the ancient tree. You guys are inside. You see, like Beau had seen originally, what you can see of the inside bark appears to be covered in some kind of sheen.
Does Viola have
kinda
her
gives-
coin glowing?
Sure.
She keeps it in her crown, so when they got in there, she would have asked, "Boop, stay in."
Should have had a V8.
Yeah, you let the light shine from Viola's forehead, and you have a few moments of, oh, Viola, you can now see. You guys are now seeing in regular light in that distance. It looks relatively dull in here, and then it's only a few moments of peace and calm before. Give me a perception check, please. Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Ooh, another dirty 20.
Let's go.
18.
20, 18,
13.
13.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
In bat
Ooh,
form.
he's still a bat. How long does
Yeah.
polymorph last?
An hour.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely.
I'm going around.
Yeah, you're flying about doing a bit of poking around.
Exploring.
Oh, cool. Yeah. As you guys catch your breath for a moment, kind of get your bearings, we get Viola some light, and Snow is peeking about. Snow, you start to do a kind of loop around, and you can see along one of the far walls, the opposite side of where Beau had been, you see this little crevice. Could probably only fit one person at a time. Seems to dip, and it's very shadowy down there, but you know that there is space down there along some kind of wedged area there. You continue looking about. It appears to be very plain, except that the ground is tilting away from where you are, down towards an area. The opposite side of the tree is just notably at a tilt after a point. Come looping back. By the time you start looping your way back, the ground starts to look different to you. Just not giving you that look the same way it had a moment ago. The other three, what you sense as you're getting your bearings, and Viola now has her light, the ground starts to feel different. This packed earth that is kind of damp a bit starts to get a bit darker, a little more damp, and it starts to sting a bit. For those of you who got that dirty 20, you hear for just a moment as if you're just constantly being watched. Like, people really seem to care what you guys are doing. You hear this little bit of a snicker. And the ground is moist. Wherever this dirt is, it is moist. It also stings like the dickens. For those of you who are on the ground, this first time, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
The 12.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
10.
Okay. That will be 8 points of acid damage, but halved for Beau and Ste'yn. As you can kind of just jump out of the way where one puddle starts to become very prominent, and then starts to grow. These puddles of this very toxic-y looking, like almost oily looking water is coming up. Kind of reminds you of those puddles you had seen further out, just a little bit further out in the swamp. And they are steadily growing. Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Ste'yn's gonna cast resistance on herself for resistance against acid damage.
Love it. All right, what are we doing? Crud, I left my timers over there.
Do I see anything else of note as I'm flying around? Is there anything to investigate or look at?
You would have heard that snicker as well. But
Could I
it's
tell where it
like
was coming from?
up, like way up.
I go 60 feet up.
Okay. What is your HP with, or what is your AC when you are polymorphed as a bat?
Even lower than what it normally is, amazingly.
Oh.
12.
Hey. Fantastic. Excellent. You start flying upwards, and you feel something sharp kind of pierce your side.
Who shoots a bat? That's just mean.
Isn't it? Friggin'
Yeah, this is why Beau didn't send Claude.
It all makes sense now. It's going to be 6 piercing damage plus an additional 5 acid damage as something sharp pierces you.
Alright, polymorph drops, and so do I.
Whoop!
How far up was I?
You said you
Oh,
flew
boy.
60, didn't you?
Well, I said I was going to fly.
No, he was
60
starting
feet,
to
and
go
then
up.
immediately got shot, so I don't know. Did I?
Oh, I
make it?
see, I
Yeah.
see.
No, probably still probably like 20 heading up. Someone catch this man.
We're gonna try and catch him.
I mean, Beau can just cast Featherfall.
I like this too.
So that's what I do.
Excellent. As you suddenly see a whoop and snow is there and starts dropping. You cast Featherfall on him.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
This is why he prepared this spell, because he climbs a lot.
Yep. And snow very gently drifts down to the ground that is steadily, all this dirt area is steadily becoming more liquid, this acid, than it is dirt.
And I think we should carry on. There's that crevice over and
Yeah,
we didn't
Beau's
see
gonna
that
just
snow.
start running ahead.
Okay. Towards that little
follows.
area. Okay.
Yep.
You start making your way. You dash your... It's at this point, it's still relatively easy to kind of jump over where these little pools are forming of this acid. You make your way to the little crevice and realize this part is much more sturdy. It's not just dirt here. It looks like stone that could be built into the tree bark. And you are able to go, but it would be one by one. What are your marching orders?
Well, Beau's the fastest, so I assume he's in the front.
Okay, Beau?
I'm guessing probably Viola and then Ste'yn, because I don't know. Ste'yn, is your
Ste'yn
movement
will-
impeded at all?
Snow is...
She's still slow.
Yeah.
And she's got resistance to acid right now, so she'll try to usher people through as we're getting across the acid stuff.
So Viola would definitely be after Beau. And then sounds like Snow and then Ste'yn.
My brain was in 4 different places. It was Beau, and then it was Viola,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Beau, Viola, Snow, Ste'yn.
and then Ste'yn. You guys squeeze your way in, and you start heading down. It appears to be these carved-in steps of stone that are bringing you curling and curving down the length of the tree, all around its diameter. Your legs start to get a little bit tired of just the constant maintaining of pace and just downward motion. When you finally think you're reaching some kind of bottom, the air has gotten more humid. You can see there are little splatters along some of the steps to be mindful of that look like more of that sheen, more of that acid. And finally, the stairs let up. It looks like you're in this little bit of almost like a foyer kind of area, but all of it stone. The roof of it seems like it's this stone, but you can kind of see where there's still some earth that kind of like packed in between the stones. To the left, it looks like there's some kind of protrusion. It kind of looks like a small chamber off to the side. To the right, it goes further. You kind of can't see. It looks like it turns and goes out of sight a little bit. And then maybe another 40 feet ahead of you, there is another small kind of doorway. It's no door, just an archway. Through there, and it is still very dark, so the 60 feet you can see through. I guess less than that because you're still at the base of the steps, but the 20 additional feet you can see through. It is more stone. There's a very heavy feeling from over there. And you can still see just splashes on the ground of that sheen-covered liquid. It is relatively quiet, but give me a perception check.
Another dirty 20.
Ayo.
$22.
That's a 10.
Oh, jeez.
How did you do, Snow?
12.
12. For all of you, it's pretty clear there's some kind of steady sound. It's slow. It almost sounds like a kind of almost like a kind of large breath. Just a steady inhale, a steady exhale. And it kind of goes with, there's a bit of movement of the air, but otherwise the air is very stale. You note that around you there are, in the stonework, there's like various looking kind of carvings. It doesn't look so much like letters as it does like maybe imagery of some kind, almost like hieroglyphic, but not any kind of known language. And you can't tell what else is kind of further in, except that sound.
Well,
Snow's
should we
gonna
go look?
examine the art on the wall.
Okay. As Snow's taking a quick peek and you guys decide, what you see looks like a lot of humanoid shapes surrounding one very large kind of like oval kind of shape. The oval shape itself has a lot of little divots very evenly spaced around it. And it, as it's carved, it kind of looks like it shines. You do see more of that sheen on there too, as if to touch it might be a bad idea, or you'd want to clean it before you touched it. But all of the different artwork all seems to depict a group of humanoids or a group of things, and they're all surrounding this kind of almost abstract looking ovular shape. Give me a religion.
18.
Okay. While it looks very worship like. It looks like there is but it's not a religion that you recognize. It's certainly not one that you had learned. Just the form of it looks like it would belong. You do note that within one of these groupings of art looks a little different than the others. It also maybe looks a little bit newer than the others, and someone took the time to create. But that one has, within its worship-looking features, one symbol does look familiar. It reminds you very much of one of those pendants you saw back in Grazie-Minot.
Snow relays that to the others.
So, do we want to move on?
So,
Yep.
I think we keep
sounds
moving.
like a plan to me.
Okay. You head to the entrance, or to this archway, and you can see clearer inside. This room, it's not brightly lit, but this does appear to have some still glowing torches kind of set oddly evenly for being a very cavern-looking, expansive space, but it is enormous. Just all about, you see where the walls are. You see there are some divots in the walls that looks like people could stand there. And then in the center, not the center, along the opposite wall of you, far off, there appears to be, among all of these, they're like boulder looking things along some of the walls too. And then there's one additional large entity, something, that when you look closely enough, you can see something on it rising, dropping very steadily. Still a little dim. But it doesn't take you too long as your eyes adjust with the light from the torches that there is a large body. It has two visible, these large arms that are connected by this kind of winged-like webbing. The light from the torches glimmers off of some dark-looking scales. And you can see a large snout that is steadily lifting its head. Another poof of that outward breath. A steady opening of its maw. Enormous, sharp teeth. Very clear against the black scales along it. Its eyes kind of lazily open. Doesn't seem to spot you immediately. But when it opens its mouth all the way, you hear a deep, vibrating voice that continues as its neck lifts, its arms start to lift it up onto 4 legs, and it says, "Who is disturbing Lilaric in my lair?" As a black dragon lifts up to look at the 4 of you. I think that's a pretty splendid place to end tonight's session.
I disagree.
Firm disagree. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else planned. Don't ask me to control a dragon right now. But that is where we will end tonight's session.
Excellent.
Good.
And then you have plenty of time to figure out what you want to do against... Did I determine that was...
You called a black dragon, right?
Yeah. To find a cheat. Yeah. Against a big old friendly black spitting dragon. Yeah, friendly. Oh no, did I close Mila note? That was silly of me. That's okay. Yeah. There you go. And when we meet next, we'll figure out what to do with that.
Excellent.
Hope you guys had fun. Hope you folks at home had fun. I'm putting my dice in the wrong spots. I also didn't have my my outro ready. I'm scrolling right now. Hold tight. There it is. Found it. But hey, I'm excited. We have our first actual dragon in a Dungeons and Dragons game. That's all I wanted. We're done after this fight. After that, the whole campaign's over. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, we
What?
might be done after this fight because I feel like it'll just kill us.
I hope it doesn't.
No.
You're full of all sorts of things. If somebody hadn't eaten all the good berries. I'm kidding.
We'll be fine.
Sorry, I didn't share my 10 HP when I was missing 26.
Oh no. But yes, thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean content to the world of tabletop RPGs. I think we have, I just don't want to forget, and I feel like I do every time. We're currently at 211 subscribers, I believe. And when we hit 250, we will do our next giveaway, which we're excited to do. We may be on a short break. February is going to be a bit of a wild month. We have our beautiful Catherine's wedding coming up. I'm so excited. So excited. I've got some stuff happening after that, and it just feels like a good opportunity to mull over the consequences of our actions for being heroes. So I'll make sure that that's a really exciting and fun encounter for them. It'll just take a little time to do that, but we won't make you wait too long, I promise. So we'll see where that's going. But when we hit 250 subscribers, which you can do when we're not even here, we'll do our next giveaway. And speaking of our lovely people, a particularly huge thanks to my players whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people and their exciting endeavors. David, who plays the wily Beau, Catherine, who plays the queenly Ste'yn, Kassie, who plays our exciting Viola, and Josh, who plays our artistic Demir Snow. And I am Brenna, your storyteller for this adventure. And we will see you back here next time with a dragon. I'm excited. Safe travels until we meet again.